What's up, Roulette Fools? Brent with AOB. I hope you're having a great summer. Okay, we're jumping right in. We are back on day 34 here, and we are going to do CYA, cover your arse. Okay, so we're going to pick 5-cent units to start. I actually wanted more than that. We'll see if we can even get these bets down. I didn't save them ahead of time. So if it doesn't, that's okay. But basically down here, we're going to put 9 overlapping corners consecutive. Okay, we're going to put 9 overlapping corners, and let's hope we get a hit here. Maybe we'll divert. I'll just stay here until we get a win, but we did get a win. All right. All right. We'll take that. That's a nice hit. And, right. So there we go. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to go 6 units. Okay. Now this is different than the original. The original is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. With 5 units on the third column up here. And David Scouse recommended, and I agree, to put an extra unit on the third column, which makes it even all out. And I'll show you the payouts here in a second. On our roulette analyzer tool so you can see how it goes. But basically, previous to this, if you put 1 unit on 9 corners and 5 units on the third column, the inside units here, the inside wins, would win 4 units. This top third column would pay 1 unit, okay? These outside right here, 4 and 5 and 31 and 32, those are partial losses, and I'll show you that coming up. But so far, so good. All right. So actually, I don't want to save it. This bet, we want to double this up. I want to be using 10-cent bets, not 5-cent. Okay. There we go. I was like, why aren't we winning more? I'm like, oh, okay, because we're using 10-cent bets. All right, let me place this bet real quick. And let's go look at our roulette analyzer tool. Okay, here we are. Same thing. We got 10-cent bets here, 1 unit, which is our 10-cent. We got 6 units up here. And as you can see from up here, we are making 33 units no matter where it hits, except for out here, we are going to lose 6 units out here. Okay, we're going to use 6. Now we have 15 units down. And I don't care that it's playing right now. We have 6 units down, so that's what it is. If we were to remove and go back to the original 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can see that this only pays 1 unit on the third column, pays 4 units here. So we're sacrificing 1 unit here, but it gives us 2 extra units on all 12 of these. I think it's worth it. All right, let's get back. Okay, we're back. No love lost here. Looks like we won, thank goodness. And I got to start our timer. I didn't do a good job of doing that. So we're into this, 6 spins? So that's like three minutes. So we're okay. So we're going to keep going. Again, this is CYA. Man, this was submitted to us a long time ago. I don't even remember when. It was so long ago. I really don't recall who submitted it or when. And I know we've done this strategy in the past, but I'm circling through new strategies along with some of the ones we've done, because this is a challenge. I am looking to win. And so I don't want to be just field testing strategies and getting my arse kicked. To this point, we've done very well with it, even with some newer strategies like high five. And we've done okay. All right, that's okay. That's a 0. So we are just standard martingale here. Again, we don't want to hit the 4 and 5. Now, you can do several things to this. This is fully customizable. So if you don't like these, you can slide it down 1 to the left or 1 to the right if you would rather. In fact, that's how it was presented originally, starting with the 7-11 corner and going down to 34-35 and covering the third column. You can move these to the second and the third corners here and move this, let's just call it Overwatch. That's why it's cover your ass, down here to the first column. So my suggestion is if you have the availability on your saved bets, you could potentially make 6 saved bets, right? One middle far, that's 3 bets here, and then flip it up and do another 3 bets up there. All right, now this is where I like David's recommended adjustment to this a long time ago. This would have normally only paid 1 unit, which in this case is 20 cents, right? Because we've martingaled. It only put it instead. It's paying 40 cents, right? No, excuse me. It's paying 60 cents instead of just paying 20 cents on those 2 hits. If it hits down here, we're only losing 1 unit, which in this case would be 20 cents. Okay, we're going back to our base bet. What's up, fools? Brent with AOB here. Got some extra cash you can afford to play with? Join our top tier gambling site, raised.com, using my code and unlock amazing perks. Enjoy exclusive VIP transfers, daily affiliate cash giveaways, a paid leaderboard to boost your winnings, end of the month lottery for big cash prizes, and Fans Friday, where we pool our money and I play for you during a live stream. Plus, score awesome AOB merchandise and join the best gambling community out there. Truly, we're like family. Jump into our Discord and see what we're all about. Sign up today and start earning free money. Let's effing go. So yeah, I would like to save one where you start your corners on the 1-5 and you would end on the 25-29, maybe make a middle, make a far, and then flip the whole thing, flip the script. So it's the exact opposite there. So we've only been going for 5 minutes. Let's do the next spin. I'll bring up the Excel and we'll see where we're at. Okay, we are doing a great job right now. We're doing a great job. All right, let's see what our Excel's showing today. So you can see here, we are at $18.25 is our daily target, which is 5%. Our balance is $365. I think it's some pennies there, but I probably have it rounded to 2 and only 2, no cents there in Excel. So we are looking pretty sharp here. And all right, we keep winning. I really do like that suggestion that David came up with, because this hits all the time and you're only making 1 unit. I'd rather sacrifice 1 unit on these. Now they're all making 3. And if you've watched me at all, you'll know I'm not a big fan of partial wins and a couple banger numbers. I like this, that the payout is even all the way across, you know, even though we have some partial losses, that's okay for the most part, but the payouts now are even all the way across. I like that because when you start going into recovery mode, right? When you start going into recovery mode and you have flat, 0 win, you know, you have numbers that have no profit. They're just break evens. You have numbers with a small profit, and then you have a couple banger numbers. That can be really frustrating. Sure, it can get you out of jail fast if you hit your banger numbers, but I much prefer being able to be calculating when a number hits what it is. Now, if you look at Gladiator, the reason I really like Gladiator is because it has 3 banger numbers, but we're not sacrificing all the other numbers. Those numbers are being paid out. Oh yeah, there's a whack. There's a whack, there's a whack. We're gonna just martingale it up. Those are all paying out just like a 5 double streets. The concession is we're removing 1 number coverage. So we're going from 30 number coverage down to 29. Other than that, it's basically 5 double streets. That's a pretty reason. I like that in order to get those 3 bangers. And those 3 bangers have really saved me over the time. In fact, it just saved me this morning. I was playing on the French Evo table and the French Pragmatic table. I could not buy a Val there. I mean, I was switching high, low. I was switching strategies. It was the craziest thing. No matter what I did, they were whacking me, right? Now, I know as some of you are going to say, and let me divert for a second. The difference between the previous one and now is when these were making 1 extra unit, this would have been with 2 hits on the inside here. Those would have been recovered already. We're not quite there. You can see our high is 375. We're at 345. So we're going to need 1 more win to get back. So recovery is a little bit slower, but overall, I like it. Okay, there we go. 405. We're at 541. We may have to step up our game here and increase our bets. I'm looking, if you go back, We started with $10, and we're at 300 and almost $70 right now. 370 from 10 bucks. Okay. And sure, it's taken us, this is 34 days to get there, but that's still not bad. If you think about it, that we've been hitting our average. I'll calculate our average on our spreadsheet by the next session and see what is our average percentage that we've been getting every day. That's going to be kind of tough, I guess, because the balance changes, but I know that we've been averaging over 5% a day. So far we've been, and I asked myself, people says, well, why don't you do this with the $50,000 balance? You know, you're right. But somehow when the balances get bigger, things change. And I'll tell you why. Because as you've seen in a couple of the other videos here, we went pretty deep in the progressions. Here, getting deep in the progressions, meaning we're betting $100, $200, right? Sure, that's going to wipe us out. But that's not the same as betting $20,000, right? So the progressions are much easier here to swallow and go, okay, I'm willing to go a little bit more versus that's the difference to me. You have table limits are also an issue, right? Table maximums. So you can run into problems there. You just can't keep martingaling the way you can do here. But that's why online is so great. These tables are so great that if you're willing to grind, your chance at being able to beat, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go super martingale from here on out so that our recovery is a little quicker. If you're using this, don't do super martingale unless you're using a much lower starting bet. But if the nice thing about these, that's great. See, that's a much better win for us than it would have been prior to that. You can go in like this table, it's a 5-cent minimum bet, and it still has a $5,000 max. You can't find that in brick and mortar. So 5 cents, if you have let's say, take the bankroll we have, and maybe we'll do that on the next one. I can place outside bets, martingale all day long, figuratively, right? Okay, there we go. We're back up. And where were we at? We are about 11 minutes and we are at 525. So some of these, you know, it's weird when you're used to playing with a certain bankroll, even though you're doing the same percentages, the same strategies, and you go to a completely different bankroll, it's so weird. If we were playing this and I was playing with a $5,000 bankroll, I would know much more what I'm capable of doing as far as bets, as far as getting aggressive. But when you switch, it's just so weird. You're not used to the numbers. It's harder to kind of forecast and go, what is that going to get me? How much am I going to make? Versus when I'm playing with my normal, I know exactly what I'm going to make and how long it's going to take me to get. And when I lose, I know exactly those numbers. I know the recovery on this, but outside of that, all right, you know what? We're going to go double. We're going to go up our bets to 30-cent units and see how that goes. We'll just do CYA 0.30. All right. So, and we can just look at the total over there. You guys can't see my saved bets completely, but you can see them a little bit here on the edge here. Let's pick up the pace here. And if we start getting ourselves in a hole, well, so be it. Then we'll just stop. I don't think we've had a losing session, but we've been close to being wiped out. One spin away, right? We've been one spin away, one whack away from getting completely wiped out on, I think, on previous videos. Maybe not completely, but it would have knocked our balance down considerably. All right, but right now we're tearing it up. We really are tearing it up. All right, this is a $5 bet. I'm trying in my head to think, okay, with a 368, what you need to do, and this, I'm flying blind, and that's terrible. What you should be doing is getting our progression calculator, either on our website or get on our Discord, put in the cost of this, $4.50, and because we're martingaling, in my case, I'm super martingaling, put that out. Put your bankroll in and see how many progressions that gives you. I didn't do that. Shame on me. I should be doing it. And you know what? I'll do it from here on out. I will do that so I can tell you exactly how many progressions we have with the bankroll we have, just on the chance that you actually are following along with me, playing day by day the same way that I'm playing. All right. All right, we're at 8:55, 9:45. Okay, we are at about 13 minutes. That's okay. So we're going to give this thing to about 16 or 17 minutes and see how that goes. Again, you can modify this strategy right here. This one, strategies like this, you can't really convert over to the French Le Partage table, which right now we wish we could, without seriously affecting the the way this looks and the way the layout is, right? I mean, you can go here and go, okay, I know what I'm covering here, how many numbers I'm covering, right? 20 numbers here, and I'm covering another 12 numbers there. So I'm covering 36 numbers. So if you don't care about this particular layout and you want to cover 36 numbers, 32 numbers, then you can absolutely make a Le Partage table by covering 18 numbers right here on that, and then picking your additional from 18 to 32, right? So you can definitely pick another 14 on the high end if you want to cover 14 numbers down here. And you can get on our roulette tool and figure out what would make the ratios the same so that the payouts are roughly the same. There we go. All right, where are we at? We're at $10.35 with about a few minutes left. So we might, you know what? I'm not going to play with fire here. We're doing well. This is a decent sized bet for what we're doing here. And this is a partial loss right here. Okay, so we are going to do the same thing with this. Now, if I was on a partial loss and I was playing the way I'd want you to play, I wouldn't super martingale this one because you only had a partial loss. Just martingale it. I'm being more aggressive because I would love to get up to the $18.25 is our 5% nice to have target, but we don't need that. There he goes, but that's profit. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. There's some strategies that just kicked my bahootie earlier on after I started playing these. They were doing great. And then it's like drinking just too much tequila at a party one night. Just the smell of it, you're like, I'm not touching this again. CYA, Scouser, those strategies just kicked my bahootie and I haven't touched them. But then recently I've been playing them and they've been doing really well for me. All right, here we go. It hit that one, which is a full loss. Let's see if in the time we have left, if we can get this back. We're about 17 minutes in because I didn't start the clock right on time. We're about 17 minutes into this. So let's get recovery or even near recovery. And we're going to call it a day. Okay. We're at 1350. Let's see if we can get lucky here. All right, there we go. That's a nice hit. And let's see if we can get one more. If we can get one more here, we will be done. That'll get us back up. And we're on our way. Let me know in the comments there if there are particular strategies you want to see. And again, I have the bounty. If you submit a strategy in our Discord and I make a video out of that strategy, which I'll be peppering. Oh my gosh. Ugh. All right. We're going again. And then here, 1, 2, 3. All right, we're at a $40 bet. I lose this one. We're done. We're done. We will be down $44. I was being risky here, and this is the problem with being risky. So hopefully, again, I'm stressing, don't follow my progressions the way I'm doing them. Follow the progressions the way I recommend them. There we go. There's a win. Where does that get us to? All right, $4 and I'm going to risk it. Now, like I said in the past, if you're playing along and you're in this situation, and even though your bets aren't this big and you are at the end of your 15 minutes, if you're time boxing at 15, 20 minutes and you're up in 405, just like we are, you come back, I would call it. Don't risk going back into debt to get to your session high like this. You don't need to be at session high. You don't have to be there. Walking away with a $4 profit or whatever that is, or even break even at the end of the session, that's a win. Okay, so take it. Anyway, again, a bounty. If your strategy makes at least $50 with a $1,000 bankroll, you get 50% of the profits, no matter how high. All right, that's it for today. Let me know what you think in this comments. Let me know if you think there's some adjustments that could be made to this to make it even better. I know there are. For those of you who want to make banger numbers out of this, I was playing around with this. You can obviously add some splits or corners, pepper them in there, but it lowers down your profit big time. Not a fan. All right, that's it. I hope you guys are having a good summer. Like I said, enjoy the rest of it, but I'll be back tomorrow. Be good humans. We'll see you next time. Cheers.